Perfect water. Exactly what I need.
No worries. You can get into that if you want. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 151st Open. It's delightful to see you all back again, and I'm very delighted to welcome Cameron Smith, the defending champion, to the Media Centre. Cam, what's it like to be back here a year on?
Yeah, it's lovely to be back. I've been in the UK now for a few weeks. The weather's been pretty interesting the last couple of weeks as well, so yeah, it's nice to be back. I just had to hand back the trophy there. I thought I was going to do all right, but I was actually holding back some tears. So yeah, a bit of a moment, I guess, that crept up on me. But yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. We'll kick off with Doug.
You know you can win it back, right?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, that's what I've been saying to all my mates. It'll only be a week and we'll be drinking out of it again. But that's kind of, you know, you never know. Sometimes you can play your best golf at major championships and you can run fourth or fifth. So, yeah, hopefully it's another week like last year and I'm back with the trophy.
Why do you think that, whatever emotion it was, why do you think it crept up on you like that? What were you expecting and what do you think happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just hard to. It wasn't hard to hand it back. I wasn't like not letting it go, but it was just a bit of a moment that I guess you don't think about, and then all of a sudden it's there, and yeah, you want it back. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be able to sleep tonight.
We'll go to 3 next, please.
Hi, Cam. It's been quite a year, hasn't it, with winning the Open, obviously going to Live, having all the success you've had. How would you assess Cam Smith, the golfer, and Cam Smith, the person, a year on after everything that's happened as you sit back here now?
I think the person's the same. I think my old boy would give me a clip around the ears if he was any different. I think as a golfer, I actually think I'm a better golfer now than what I was last year. I think the stuff that I had to clean up is progressing. It's still a little bit of a work in progress. You know, I said this morning to someone that kind of my 5-iron and up has always been a bit of a struggle for me. And that's an area of the game that we've worked probably harder than we have on in the past. And I feel like it's right there. It's just... it just all has to come together. I think the first round I had at Centurion a couple of weeks ago was the first time where I felt like it had all come together, and then it kind of, the driver again wasn't my best friend on the weekend there, but I managed to kind of scramble out a good week. So yeah, it's there. It's just hasn't been there for all 4 rounds, but it feels really close.
And if I can, is the scheduling that you now have helping you actually tweak things because you're playing maybe a little bit less event-wise?
I mean, on paper, it definitely says that we've been playing less, but it feels like we haven't had a week off here in a few months. So, you know, I think once you get into that competitive mojo, it's good for the golf game. I've always been a person, I think, where I can make changes on the run, and I think that's helped me throughout this, you know, this last 3 or 4 months. And yeah, like I said, it just feels really close. It's just that driver just needs to behave itself, really.
Craig.
Hi, Cameron. Just briefly back to the trophy. I suppose it's the traditional question that gets asked here every Monday after Henrik Stenson threatened to take the claret jug skydiving one time. What's the craziest, funnest and most exciting thing you did with it over the year?
Probably the funnest thing I did with it was I took it back to my home club in Brisbane, and we had it was actually timed perfectly. They had their presentation night where they present the club champion with a trophy, and all the different events they have throughout the year was one of the first nights I got back to Australia. So bought the claret jug up there, had all the members there, and yeah, had a ripping night. It was, you know, for a little country club outside of Brisbane to have the claret jug in it, I think was a pretty cool moment.
Louine, please.
Cameron, can you think of a moment when you got up in the middle of the night to go and look at the trophy and to see, is that really mine?
I don't think it ever took any sleep away from me, but there was definitely a few moments, I think, where you randomly walk into the office where it was for most of the year, and you're just going to do some mail and you bump into it or something. There's a few moments like that, I guess. It still doesn't feel real even a year down the road, but I think, hopefully I can get it back. I want that thing back so bad.
Number 2, please.
Cameron, defending a title is very different to winning one. You now have a target on your back. Given the decision that you made to join Liv, I just wonder how much determination you have to come back here as reigning Open champion to show the world of golf just how good a player you are all over again.
Yeah, I think, I think Liv aside, I'm determined to try my best every week and just try and be a better golfer than I was last week. I think, I never really expect too much of myself. The things I expect are doing everything 100%, ticking all the boxes early in the week, making sure I'm prepared, and then just go out there and give it my all. That's all I can really do, and I think I've done that fantastic this year and especially last year. It was such a good year last year. You almost expect to win, and I think that's not really a good way to look at golf. Just expect to do all the things that you're meant to do 100%, and then go out there and give it a crack. And if you win, you win.
Does being a Liv player come into it at all in any way, especially given that this is arguably the most traditional and historic event in golf?
No, I don't think so. I think we're all here to win the Claret Jug, and basically any one of these guys, if they have their week this week, is going to walk away with it. So we'll see what happens.
Number 3, please.
Hi, Cam. Yeah, with all the uncertainty surrounding the deal between the PGA Tour and the Public Investment Fund, have you been given any assurances over what the future of Liv Golf might look like, and are you optimistic about what your future might look like? Yeah,
absolutely. I'm optimistic. I think golf is in a great spot. There's obviously a lot of things that are up in the air that no one really knows at the moment. I don't even think the guys that are trying to sort it out really know what this outcome is going to be like. So, a lot of uncertainty, but I'm optimistic that Liv will be around in the future.
Bob, please. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Cam, when did you get here to Hoylake? How early, and how often have you seen the course, and what are your plans leading up to Thursday?
We got here Saturday afternoon. It was actually a bit of a longer journey from London than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a few hours, and put it into the maps and it was 5 or 6. So probably would have liked to be up here a little bit earlier, but the weather was not so good on that Saturday, so just laid low. And again, yesterday it was a windy day, but managed to get out there and play 1 through 5 and then 14 through 18. So seen a fair bit of the golf course. I think it's a great venue. I think it was playing very strong yesterday, given the wind, but and I think the wind is probably going to die down a little bit, but it's going to be something that we're going to have to deal with all week. So it's a very strong test of golf out there.
Great, David.
Yeah, Cam, I think you said recently that your win was slightly tarnished by being asked so quickly about Liv. I just wonder, is that something that did gnaw at you throughout the year, and is it something you can even use as an extra motivating factor this time? Yeah, no, I think it was frustrating at the time, given the circumstance. But then, I guess looking back on it, it's just a guy just trying to do his job and ask a question that everyone really wanted to know. And I don't think there's any added motivation there. I don't have any hard feelings towards anyone there at all.
Evan?
Cam, now that you don't see these guys on the PGA Tour as much, are the majors more enjoyable for you to come and get that competition back 4 times a year that you used to get basically on a weekly basis?
Yeah, I think it's good seeing old friends, probably more than the competition stuff. You know, we're still trying to play our best golf out in the Live Tour, and there's still I think a lot of competition, especially at the top end there, where they push you to play your best to win a golf tournament. So yeah, it's good seeing you know, Scotty. I don't see him a whole lot anymore, and we've managed to have a few practice rounds. You know, in the majors this year, and we're going to have a hit again this afternoon. So yeah, it's good to see familiar faces, especially you know, friends.
And just to follow up, I know you're a process guy, but do you let yourself dream about winning multiple majors in your career?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't expect that of myself, but yeah, there's definitely something on the inside of me that wants to win, you know, 2, 3, 4, however many I can. It's yeah, I try not to let that get in the way, though, for sure.
Doug.
Cam, if you go back to last year and one of the great closing rounds in major history, and the decision to join Live, and suspension, losing your parking spot at Sawgrass, big deal, lawsuits, start of a new year, all that stuff. Does last year seem like a long time ago or a short time ago? And secondly, as much of a guy who doesn't seem to get bothered by much, what part of all that caused, you think, the most turmoil for you?
Yeah, it does seem like a long time ago last year. I think it all went so quick for me, really, to be honest, between the decision to go and then being back in Australia and then starting again this year. You know, I wasn't a part of all the lawsuit stuff. I tried to stay as far away from that as possible. Like I've said in the past, the PGA Tour is a great place to play golf, and it will be for a very long time. So I don't think there was any part of me that made me think I made the wrong decision throughout any part of the last 8 or 9 months. Probably the most stressful part was trying to make the decision, and then it was almost like a breath of fresh air, getting out there and playing golf again.
In front here, thanks.
Cam, when you look back,
Sorry.
When you look back at last year, what's your fondest memory of that final round or that week?
Being in the Old Course Hotel with the Claret Jug was pretty fun on Sunday night. You know, the 18th hole, walking up there, it was one of the most stressful but enjoyable, you know, 5 minutes of my life. I said before that, you know, I wish I had a few more shots up my sleeve there and really been able to enjoy it. But I think definitely the walk up the 18th hole, the ceremony on the 18th green, and that night were something I'll never forget.
Just as a quick follow, do you think there's a better pressure shot that you've made in your career than that putt on 17? You know, that tricky getting up there, and because that seems to be what everybody remembers most about that.
Yeah.
The heat of the moment there.
Yeah, I think the first putt from left of the bunker there was a great shot, don't get me wrong, but I think that next 10-footer was an even better shot. You know, the putter felt great on that Sunday, and yeah, just needed to give myself a look at it, and you know, hopefully it went in. Hit a great couple of putts there, managed to get away with 4, and then birdied the last, and yeah, that's exactly what I needed to do.
3, please.
Hi, Cam. Just wondering, did you notice any change in perception or attitude when you went from Cam Smith Open Champion to Cam Smith Open Champion and Live Golfer?
As far as from a play standpoint, or
just in terms of how people, how the public treated you, or how you felt you were perceived?
No. you know, I've never tried too much to worry about what people thought of me, and I think Live was really well received in Australia. They were probably the two most important things for me. I think when I went down to Australia to play the PGA and the Open at the end of the year, there was no public kind of uproar of me switching tours. They were just happy to see me there playing golf, and yeah, that was awesome.
Louine, please.
Cameron, when you came to the press conference at last year's Open, were you prepared for the questions, or could you have been better prepared?
I think there was only really one question. I kind of figured it was going to come at some point. No, I don't think I would have answered it any differently if I was less or more prepared.
But you didn't. Nobody was telling your manager, or they weren't saying this is what you're going to get asked.
No, I mean internally I probably knew it was going to be asked, but yeah, there was no one there really backing me up.
Who would you expect to back you up?
Well, as far as backing up, as far as someone telling me that you're going to get asked this and this is what you're going to answer, there was no one telling me that. That was just my brain and my heart telling me what I thought was right.
If we can just pass the microphone to Jeff, please.
The greens are kind of on the slower side, maybe because of the wind. As a good putter, Cam, what gets you excited, and what do you think rewards a good putter? Greens on the slower side or on the faster side, and just kind of your assessment of these in general too.
I think hitting good putts rewards a good putter. I don't think. I feel like any surface, any speed, a good putter is able to adjust no matter what he's fronted with. I would say generally probably faster greens and smoother greens. Lean into a good putter's hand. But you know, I've played well on these greens before. It doesn't bug me that they're slower or a little bit bumpier maybe. I've always been, you know, all about just reading the green, thinking what it's going to do, and then just hitting a good putt. If it goes in, it goes in. It doesn't really tear me up or think. I think I've always hit a good putt. If it goes in or if it misses, it doesn't really bother me. The greens out here, I think, are probably a little bit flatter than maybe some other greens we've played at the Open, but. You know, the punishment for missing the green around here is, I think, maybe a little bit worse in some cases. Yeah.
Right, we've probably only got time for the questions that are still in the room, so we'll go with 3 first.
Hi, Cam. You said you've been in England for a little while. Have you been following the cricket?
Yes.
Are you a cricket fan?
I'm a cricket fan when I'm down in Australia and the Big Bash is on. Always. You know, it's been hard to watch the Ashes given we've been playing through most of it, but always managed to keep an eye on the Ashes as well.
And what do you make of it so far? And it could be a big day Sunday, because the last day of the fourth test, Australia could win the Ashes and you might defend your title.
Yeah, that'd be unreal. Yeah, the first 3 tests have been amazing. Like I said, it's been hard to watch, but we've been able to put it on the radio or put it on the TV in most cases. Yeah, hopefully the Aussie boys can get it done this week, I would like. I think that going to a 5th test would be, I don't know if it would be a bad thing, but I'd just like them to get it done this week.
Just quickly, what do you make of the Johnny Bairstow thing, the run-outs? Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a cricket player. I don't know what really the etiquette is there.
Question from 4, please.
Hi, Cam. Can I just ask you for your thoughts on the new hole here, the 17th, the par 3? It looks as though there could be quite a lot of drama there this week.
Yeah, that's probably the right word, drama. Yeah, it's a tough hole. We played it yesterday and it was straight into the wind, 30 or 40 miles an hour, and it was not a tee shot that you want to have. I think I hit 7-9 in there yesterday. I don't know if we're going to hit 7-9 again, but yeah, there's not much room for error up there, and I think it'll be, you know, a really exciting finish to Open Championship for sure. I think it's a great hole.
Two, please.
Hi, Cam. You say lots of things are up in the air, and obviously they are for next year. I just wondered, you've worked with Greg Norman, you know, obviously for the last year. Would you like to see him sort of stay on? Because there's a lot of rumours about his future.
Yeah, I think, you know, I've kind of become a bit of a friend of Greg's, I guess, the last 8 or 9 months, and you know, personally, I think he's doing a great job for our tour. He's looking out for our best interest, and that's all you can ask of a guy that's running the show. So, yeah, I'd love to see him keep on.
Right, and Swanee, yep.
Cam, I know that Cameron Young was involved, and you have a lot of the entire field this week to deal with, but it felt a bit like Cam against Rory McIlroy and done that back 9 last year. You've won last time. He's won Sunday. Do you fancy a rematch Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I guess that'd be a good story for you guys to write about, for sure. You know, like I said, there's plenty of guys here that, given their week, can be right up there on Sunday afternoon. I'm sure Rory will be one of them. He's played great golf the last few months here, and yeah, it looked like he finally got one on the head. It may open the floodgates for him, who knows, but yeah, it'd be a cool story for sure.
Well, Cam, thank you so much for your time today. We wish you the best of luck this week.
Thank you.